Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Priscilla, and today you're going to watch me test out a couple of new drugstore products that have recently launched, kind of like the Maybelline foundation, the Wet n Wild brow pencil definer, kind of like the Anastasia definer, but the Wet n Wild definer. The liquid Lumi drops from L'Oreal and the Wet n Wild liquid highlighters, as well as the Rimmel Wonder Wing. So if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on these products, then please stay tuned. So the first thing that I'm going to do is spray myself with some rose water by the brand Heritage Store. To go ahead and use the Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil, which looks a lot like the definer from Anastasia Beverly Hills, the eyebrow definer. This is what it looks like. Inside it has a spoolie, and on the other side you have your definer, which is what you use. I'm going to go ahead and just brush my eyebrows out. I have about 3 different colors. The color that I am using is medium brown. What I do like about this is because of its precise tip, it does allow you to kind of just press on your eyebrows and just kind of like form a line. And it's also very blendable, which I really like. Now that my eyebrows are done, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. This is not from the drugstore. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills waterproof cream color in the shade Honey. You're going to see that a couple of products that I use are not drugstore, but it's just what I prefer to use when I don't have that product. And for eyeshadow, I picked up these 2 beautiful Milani eyeshadow palettes, and they are the Bold Obsessions and the Most Loved Mattes palettes. Let's talk about the packaging. I think they are gorgeous. I love the gold, and it's kind of like mirrored. It's kind of making the camera go a little crazy. It's like a gold mirrored top, and then black all around. On the back you have the names of the colors, and it also tells you what looks you can use for daytime, anytime, and playtime, which I think is really cool. And also the names are written down on the back. And then on the inside you have a full-sized mirror, and then you have all these really pretty shades. So the Most Loved Mattes are kind of like your basic colors that you would use on an everyday. I love how it has these, you know, the nudes, and it has like oranges, and it has plums and pinks. Really colors that you can use anytime. And then for the Bold Obsessions palette, same thing. You have the gold packaging and then the black all around. On the back, you have all of the names, and it tells you what you can use for sunrise, sunset, or nightfall, which I think is really cool. It has a full-size mirror, and then the shades are more of like shimmery shades. You have golds, and you have some blues, you have blacks, you also have some nude shades in here as well, like some mattes, but like the title says, Bold Obsessions. So I feel like they made these gorgeous palettes. I had to get both of them because they were just so pretty. Like the colors to me are just so intriguing. Like when I first saw them, I'm like, I have to have these palettes. Like they look very similar, like I'm looking at the viewfinder right now, and they look really similar, but trust me, they're very different. So this is the Bold Obsessions right over here, and this is the Most Loved Mattes, and you can see that the Bold Obsessions have a little bit more of a darker selection when it comes to colors, and this one does not. This one has a black shade in it, and this one does not. So I'm going to be dipping and dabbing into both of these palettes to create my eye look today. I do want to go with something more neutral just because I wanted to do a metallic lip today. I'll be dipping into the Bold Obsessions palette from Milani, and I'm going to be using this shade right over here. It's kind of like a light brown, a very light shade, like almost like a sand color. And I'm going to be applying that right on the crease. I am then going to go into the Most Love Mattes palette, and I want to use this kind of light pink shade right here. It's called Umber the Sun, kind of like under the sun, but umber the sun. I'm going to take that shade, and I'm going to be applying it on the outer corner of my eye. I'm then going to go in with a base shadow brush. It kind of looks like this, but I like to use it to define my crease a little bit more. And from the Bold Obsessions palette, I'm going to go in with the color Red Between the Lines. This color right over here. And you can see how beautifully these shades are blending into each other, and also how pretty they look on the eyes. I know that on the Milani website they sell them for $20 each, but at Walmart you could get them for $15 each. I am next going to go in with a e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush and the Bold Obsessions Bear in Mind, which is this nude color right over here. And I'm going to be applying that on my lid. Go in with the brush that I used to blend my transition shade, and I'm going to be taking this color right over here, which was Red Between the Lines, and I'm going to define the outer corners a little bit more. Today, I specifically wanted to test out the Wonder Wing by Rimmel London. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. I have. Huda Beauty was talking about it, and she was saying how it was a really good like eyeliner pencil. It's kind of like a stamp for you to do your wing, or to make it easier for you to do a wing. So let's see if this works. I'm going to read the back real quick and let you guys know what it says. So it says, lightweight ink-like formula that delivers rich pigments for deep black makeup impact. Wing-shaped stamp gives perfect symmetrical flicks on both sides. Flexible felt tip allows you to reach each corner. So let's see if this is as easy as they say it is. I thought it was really cool because it's like the name says it's a Wonder Wing and it's waterproof. I got mine in the color 001 black. So it's just black with gold letters and it says Wonder Wing on it. It's actually a stamp that's supposed to make a wing. Let me show you. Let's see. I'm kind of nervous. I've never used anything like this, so I'm kind of wondering if it really works. Let's see. That came out horrible, so I think I did it wrong. Oh yeah, I think I did it wrong. So it is supposed to be the way I thought it was, because it's like you don't know which way to do it. So I did it like this, and it's definitely not like that because I have like this piece of black sticking out. So I'm gonna have to like do this. It's kind of awkward, but so that means I have to remove it and do it again, which is gonna mess up my makeup, but oh well. That's why I didn't really want to do anything really crazy on the eyes either, because then it's like you mess up your makeup, then you have to do it again. I'm gonna let this side dry and I'm gonna start with this left eye. I've seen videos of people using this and they just like stamp it on their eye and it looks perfect. Why can I not do it? Ah, okay, I just did it. I just did it, guys. Oh my gosh. But it doesn't really give you like a precise point. So I guess you have to like use the tip of the applicator to like draw your wing. I think that makes more sense. I don't really like how this is looking. I applied it and it's like smearing all over my eye. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm wondering if it's because I used the like one of my makeup wipes. Maybe I didn't let it dry all the way and it's probably smearing because of that. The one thing that I like about it so far is the precise tip. The only thing that I don't like about felt tip is once you use it, the tip starts to get not as pointy anymore. Let me know if any of you guys have the same problem. So that's the only thing I don't like about felt tip liners, but I'm gonna go ahead and try the left eye one more time and see if I can get it while this one's drying. Okay, so I like how this one came out. It definitely, so I think what I was doing wrong is I wasn't kind of pushing it back all the way. I was putting it too close to the inner corner of my eye. So if you do buy this and you do try it, make sure you put it all the way in the outer corner so it actually stamps your wing, and it did make the wing. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm going to try the same thing. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. It is easier though to get your left eye than your right eye. I have to let that dry again because, yeah. So then once you get your stamp and once you get your liner on, then you kind of have to go back in with the felt tip and fix it. So I kind of feel like it helps you, like if you're a beginner, it helps you to get that shape of the wing, and then you go back in to create a more precise wing. But for me, I personally don't like this because I like to be able to make my own wing, and I kind of feel like there's no point if you have to go back in and reshape it. And though it definitely helps you make the wing, but I don't know as far as the lasting power, how long it lasts. So now it's time for lashes. I've actually used these already, but they are new and they are from Kiss. And I believe they're called Boutonniere, something like that. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but I'm going to go ahead and put these on. They're so pretty. Let me show you guys what they look like. Now that I have my lashes on, I'm kind of feeling the eyeliner. Using the They're Real Benefit Mascara to blend in my natural lashes and the falsies. So for primer, I'm going to be using the Milani Instant Touch-Up Blur Stick. And this is a new product from the drugstore. I feel like it's kind of trying to imitate the Milk Blur Stick. If any of you have heard of the Milk Blur Stick, there's like a little bottom right underneath here. You can take it out and then twist it up for it to come up. I got it in the color 01 Transparent, and it looks like this. I feel like the whole point of this is to blur out your pores, so I'm just going to apply it more so where I have bigger pores. Using my finger to distribute the product around my skin. Now we are ready for foundation, and for foundation I am testing out a new foundation from the drugstore, and it is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation in the shade 128 Warm Nude. I'm going to be applying it to the back of my hand to kind of warm it up, and I'm going to be taking an e.l.f. foundation brush that I've recently really loved to apply my foundation with. I usually apply my foundation with a beauty blender, but I've really enjoyed using this e.l.f. foundation blurring brush, and you can get this at Walmart. I really like it because the bristles are very packed together, and I feel like such good quality. So I'm just going to grab some on the brush and distribute it on my face, and then blend it. I'm not really noticing that my pores are covered from that blurring primer that I used. I feel like they look just a little bit smaller. I felt like it didn't do too much to my pores. I already used it, so I'm going to apply a little bit more to the back of my hand and apply it on my forehead. So to save some time, I already did my concealer. I used the Tarte Shape Tape. It wasn't anything new from the drugstore, so I just went and did that off camera to save some time. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my highlighter. So there has been a lot of liquid liners that have launched at the drugstore. First, I'm going to talk about the Wet n Wild ones. I have a lot more, but I'm just going to be showing you guys these 4 right here. I have the Halo Goodbye, the Rosy and Ready. By the way, these are glass bottles, so that you have to be really careful with them, but they're really pretty. Gilded Glow and Halo Gorgeous. And L'Oreal came out with their own version of these, but they only have 2. They have a pinky one and then they have a golden one. And I picked up the pinky one, which is in the shade 507 Daybreak. The only difference between these two that I noticed, so Wet n Wild has a more range of highlighter colors and the L'Oreal only has 2, but the L'Oreal ones gives you more of like a wet look, whereas the Wet n Wild one you have to like build it up more to get more of an intensity. The L'Oreal ones are about $8, I want to say, and the Wet n Wild ones are around $5. It also depends where you pick them up. So to test these out for you guys, I am going to use the L'Oreal on my right side, and on my left side I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild one. I want to find a shade that's very similar so I don't look weird with 2 different highlighters on my face. A similar shade to the Daybreak would have to be the Rosy and Ready. So what I'm going to do is I like to spritz my face with some rose water. And then I like to go in with a beauty blender and kind of spray that too with the rose water. And then put it on my face, kind of like this. And then blend it out. You see how much of a wet look that gives you? It's so pretty. The beauty blender wet it a little bit more to help it blend into the skin. I'm going to apply that the same way that I did the L'Oreal one. So I don't know if you can tell, it's not as like potent, I feel. It still looks very pretty, it's just not as potent. Like you kind of have to build it up a lot more to get it to how the L'Oreal one looks. But I will say that I love the glow that it gives you. It gives you a very like lit from within glow. Now I wanted to go in with the L'Oreal True Match Shimmerista, which goes hand in hand with this collection. I'm going to be taking the setting brush from Real Techniques, dipping just a tad and removing the excess from the brush, and then just going over the liquid highlighter that I had applied. As you can see, blinding. I have to blend it a little bit better though. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. For contouring, I don't have anything new. I'm just going to be using the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette, and then to bronze my skin, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Sweet Pea Glow Bronzer, which is very pretty. Not Drugstore, of course, but to save time, I'm going to go ahead and do those off camera, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and bronzed my face, and now it's time to do my lower lash line. I wanted to do this on camera because I am going to be using those Milani palettes that I had mentioned. And on my lower lash line, I'm going to use the Most Love Matte palette, and I want to use this like terracotta shade right here. It's called Hiking in Sedona. I'm going to use a eyeshadow brush. To finish off the look, I am going to be using the NYX Liquid Suede Metallic Matte in the color Buzzkill. For the final thoughts on all of the products that I tried, I want to say that the Milani eyeshadow palettes by far are amazing. The pigmentation and the colors that they decided to choose I think are beautiful. Next thing that I tried that was a little bit iffy on my eyes was the Wonder Wing by Rimmel. And I have to say that it was definitely tricky to get the wing, but I feel like once you get the hang of it, it's a little bit easier. The next thing that I tried from the drugstore was the Wet n Wild highlighter and the Lumi Drops or the L'Oreal liquid highlighters. I really like those both a lot. They both have different formulas. The Wet n Wild one is more of a like paste, I feel, and the L'Oreal one is more like liquidy. They're both really good, but they give you like different sheens. Not to mention the Wet n Wild brow pencil. I absolutely loved it. It's so creamy and it really glides on your eyebrows. Very natural and easy to manage. So that was all for my review and what was new at the drugstore. I hope you guys have an opportunity to test these products out. If you do, please let me know down in the description box. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!